This is Greg Canty here, and welcome to the Win Happy podcast. Stay tuned for interesting chats with interesting people about winning their lives and being happy at the same time. This show has been brought to you by Fusion Communications. Thanks for listening. In part one of a two-part podcast, I chat with Daryna Hruz, recruitment resourcer with AA Euro Group. Nearly 1 year ago, she was forced to leave her life in Kyiv in Ukraine when the unthinkable happened, and she woke up on the 24th of February to hear Russian bombs landing in her city. On this podcast, she talks about the political environment in Ukraine at the time, escaping from the country with her family, how she made her way to Ireland, and how difficult this war is because it is like brother fighting brother. Let's hear from Daryna. Daryna Hruz.
Gruzdeva, yeah, Daryna Gruzdeva. Or you can also call me Dasha.
Dasha.
It's easier.
Dasha.
Yeah.
A big welcome to the Win Happy podcast. How are you today?
Me good. Thank you for invitation, Oslo.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And you've been living in Ireland for, I think, just under a year.
Yeah. 10 months.
10 months. So I've got a really big question for you, and I'm going to bring up a very important date. The 24th of February, 2022. Do you remember when you heard the news that Russia had invaded your country? And what were you doing at that moment, and how did it feel?
So I didn't hear the news. I heard the bombs near us.
Oh, God.
So we woke up. I woke up and I understood that it's happened. Like before, we had a lot of news, like New York Times journal told that it will be war, and a lot of West Europe news talk about too much, and everybody thought, oh, they just scary. It couldn't happen. Maybe just only Donbass region, no more. And when I woke up, because bomb rockets were near us, I understood that it's happened.
And tell me, were you the type of person who reads the news all the time? Were you waiting on this? Did you have a lot of information about it? Or were you just, an ordinary person living your life, if you know what I mean?
So I don't have, for example, TV. In Ukraine, I don't have TV in my house. So I don't read news or watch news too much. But 4 days before war broke out, I felt something wrong. I felt very scary. I can't even sleeping at night. And I woke up and called to my mom at night once, I feel the Russian rockets will come to us soon. And she told me, oh, Daryna, you're too sensitive. Don't think too much about that. And I also can't work it's happened on Thursday. And I remember Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can't work. I woke up, take my cat, and feel like too much, in environment, too much news, too much very, very hard situation. You feel something really could happen, but your mind don't want to believe in that. And my mom told me, if you're so scary I was living alone in my renting apartment in Kyiv. And she told me, if you're so scary to sleep, if you can't work, come to me to my apartment in Bucha. Maybe if you will be with me, it would be easier. So, when it happened, I was in my mom's apartment in Bucha. And I don't know, around 50 kilometers from Bucha, we have military airport Gostomel. And it's a lot of soldiers and stuff like that, military stuff. So it was always all night attacked by Russia, even Russian soldiers. And we understood that we need to escape from Bucha because it would be always point to Russian sides to attack this territory. So when it happened, I woke up, I was shocked. I don't know. I was like frozen. People have three type of reaction: beat, run, or frozen. I was frozen.
And of course, Bucha came onto our news an awful lot after that because there was terrible massacres and everything else there.
Yeah, but hopefully, like my mom, she had me with her, and she understand, like as she's a parent, that she need to save her daughter, and she was not like me. She wasn't frozen. She wasn't like we need to do something, and she like okay, we don't have a car, but we need to find someone who has a car. But you know how it was happened. Everyone tried to save their family, not enough spaces. And first day you don't understand what to do. But hopefully after a few days we found a car, but its car wasn't in our apartment complex. We need to running to another place, and it was also scary because you don't know what happened from your house to a place where you will find the car.
Did it feel a little bit like you were in the middle of a movie that you would watch on TV?
Yeah, I'm like, I have my favorite writer. I don't know, am I right with pronunciation in English? Erich Maria Remarque. It's a German writer. He wrote a lot of books about war, First World War, Second World War, the life before and after. And now I feel like a hero from this book.
Yeah, so suddenly you were in the middle of this terrible nightmare.
Yeah,
The thing that you couldn't even believe was happening.
yeah, you couldn't believe you're frozen and you're very scary because I can't sleep at night because I'm afraid that these rockets come to my house and killed me. And you understand that you don't want to. We would like to live. I was 29, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to live. I only build my life, have a good job, like a gym, friends, like everything is so nice in my life. Why I need to die because someone would like to have our territory, would like to have more power, political things and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you changed as a person since the 24th of February 2022, do you think?
I think yes. I think it doesn't matter. It's war, divorce, someone died special for you. People always change after a big things in his life. Yeah, his or her life. Yeah, of course, it was for me very huge. How to say? Very like not easy year. Yeah, last year what wasn't easy, but in the same time the same time previous year was teaching me that I'm stronger than I can even suppose about myself.
That was a nice lesson to learn, that you did have that strength inside you. Now, it was a terrible way to discover that strength, but you know something new about you now.
Yeah. I think it doesn't matter what happened in our life, we can fix everything.
What I'd like to do, if that's okay, is that you might try to help me to understand what your life was like before the 24th of February 2022, if that's okay. So, a question I ask all of my guests on the Win Happy podcast is, who is Daryna and where did you come from? You know, that the young Daryna, where did you grow up?
In Kyiv.
In Kyiv, okay. And
In Kyiv.
yeah, and it's a big city, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Kyiv was living before war 5 million people, so it's like all Ireland population. So yeah, very big and beautiful city, and I love my city so much. So who was Daryna? I think Daryna in past studied and working a lot. So yeah, I was doing my career. I go to the gym. I tried to traveling. So it was like that. So I had a typical happy life.
And tell me,
Happy.
what did your mom and dad do? What jobs did they have?
So my mom worked in a restaurant. And my dad, he has a disability, but in the same time, he tried to work. He like furniture worker. He can make kitchen, clothes, stuff like that.
He's a carpenter.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you, when you were young, what were you interested in?
What age? Tell me, because I think my interest every 10 years or 5 is changing.
Oh, okay, so I'll ask you I'll answer two questions. One,
Yeah.
when you were young and there was a conversation at the kitchen table in your family, what were the typical things that the family would be talking about, when you're eating your food?
I talking about my university and about my job and about my projects. I don't know about my friends.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and when you were young in school and, for some reason the teacher had lost your attention, maybe what they were teaching was a little bit boring, and you start to daydream, what would you dream about?
Maybe to be a writer or actress.
Ah, a writer or an actress. Excellent. Have you ever done acting in school or anything like that?
Actress, no, but when I was 15, 16, I tried to write a book. Sometimes I even thinking maybe to write Ukrainians refugees notice, something like that, something in the interesting way. And also my friends push me that I will make my Instagram page with how it was, how to rebuild life and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you have a blog? Did you ever think about starting a blog or anything like that?
I'm just starting to thinking about that, to be honest. But maybe in a further future, I will do it.
Yeah, it could be very interesting. And, I think the time that you're going through is
Yeah.
so unusual, and the learnings of it, because, in a few years' time, you'll be thinking back to now and you'll be wondering, yeah, I wonder what was I thinking at that time. So maybe now, when all of those ideas are really fresh, it might be a good idea, even for a little piece of history, to capture some of that and your life in Ireland and how everything changed so quickly and how you felt at different times and how that changed as time went on. Because, of course, the war now is at a quite a different stage. So, from a career point of view, when you started thinking about the kind of work that you'd like to have, what was your journey from a work point of view, from a career point of view?
So in the past, in Ukraine, I mean, yeah, I was a recruiter too, and here I'm a recruiter too. I'm very happy to find a job in as a recruiter. I will tell you later a bit more about that. So I started my career in a recruiting agency, and after that I had proposition to move to American agriculture company. So it was, and I had a recruiter role. I was looking for commercial team. It was very interesting project for me, something new challenge, new level. And also they told me, if you would like to have a career in our country, you need to develop your English. So almost 1 year before war broke out, I started to develop my English too. But everything for the reason in our life. So yeah, and when I moved to Ireland, when everything happened, I understood that the best medicine from the pain, it's work too. You know what?
Yeah, it's actually quite true. Around this time, 5 years ago, my father died. And, it's obviously it's a very, very big moment in your life and very, very sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, thank you. But I think work, I think you're absolutely right about work. You have to concentrate and focus on something else. So sometimes maybe it takes your mind away from some of the other very painful things. It doesn't change them, but for a while. And in a strange way, life goes on. You've objectives, there's things to do, you're busy, and that can actually help you maybe to get from one place to another.
But you know what, Greg, I would like to additional to say, it's very nice that work is a good medicine for yourself, but sometimes people too much escaping to work, and sometimes you need to stop and ask myself, like, what I'm fear about, what kind of feeling I have inside. Because even if you keep everything inside, after a while you will get some situation when you will have too much your feeling, maybe to on another person or on another things or situation. So it's a good medicine, but in another way, you need to ask myself, like, I can accept my feelings. It's okay with me if I'm sad, if I'm angry, all of these feelings, it's okay for everyone.
You're a very wise woman.
Thank you very much.
Because, of course, when you're in work, you've colleagues around you, you turn up for work every day. Nobody knows what is going on in each other's lives. So, you can be happy, sad, a bit angry, or for some reason, some days you might be a little bit more impatient than others. So people are, oh, what's wrong with Daryna today? Well,
Yeah.
there's a war in her country and, she's not feeling very happy. That's okay. In terms of that balance between work and living, what was living like in Kyiv before you left? I think you mentioned you had your own apartment.
Yeah, I was renting my own apartment. I was living with my cat. So I
What's her cat's
attended
name?
Shima.
Shima. Yeah.
Shima. She stayed in Kyiv with my friend mother.
Okay. Do you miss Shima?
Shima, yeah, because I felt guilty in the past, but hopefully she in the good hand. Because when we was escaping, I understand if I will take a cat, how to escape with cat, how to find accommodation. So it wasn't like planning immigration when the house, job, everything. It was like what to do, how to survive, how to alive. So yes, Shima. Also, I attend that gym 3 times per week with my trainer, and I have a good company with guys who like the same and have interest in the sport. And I was traveling. I like very much paddleboard. I'm a fan of paddleboard, especially if it's a very nice place. Wakeboarding. In 2021, I first time used wedding board. Wakeboarding. So I don't know. So I had an active life. I had a good salary. I don't know, like if to compare with people, I had a good life. Yeah, it's nothing something special, but it's a good happy life. I think the most things person need to ask his or herself, like, am I happy? And I was always answering, I'm happy in the past.
Yeah. And your job in recruitment, what kind of work was it?
In Kyiv, so agriculture sector.
Okay. And what?
Yeah, I was looking for like agronomist, sales representative. Mostly it was sales representatives roles, so it was like that, and maybe some offices roles like digital marketing specialized, marketing analyst, something like that.
And was the process quite similar to the process here with recruitment?
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I was like inside recruiter. Yeah, so my duties was searching and selecting candidates before I will send it to the hiring manager, and after I'm sending to the hiring manager or hiring manager with me interview with these candidates or by his own. So it was plenty similar how I do it now, but I'm just working in the agency. So I just have a first step interview, and we are sending to the client our candidates.
Okay. When you were living in Ukraine, did you feel European? Were you more European all the time, or did you feel like part of that Russian world?
I think we feel like mix because I'm very like even in the past to speak with the foreigners because I would like to see different point of view. It's make me growing and see different points of different people, understand what is more suitable. So I think Ukraine, it's like a mix of Russian influence and of like European American influence. So something is different, of course, in mentality. Something the same.
And during 2014 and the revolution of dignity and all of the small little war that happened in Kyiv, in Maidan, did you witness all of that? Was that something that you
I would
saw
I
every
would
day?
like I would like to tell you the truth about this year. The truth a bit sad. I will explain why. So, what was in Kyiv? We would like to have democratic, democratic in our country. Yeah, more like what more was familiar with West European values. And even I remember when it was very scary, me and my mom was brought medicine, or my father tried to brought food to Maidan, but like policemen, everybody tried to close this place. So a lot of people died too. Yeah, not like now in the war. But you know what happened next? The next happened is, I think, the president and a lot of politicals what was won election. It was bullshit. They lied to us.
Okay.
I know maybe people don't want to listening to this and would like to say, oh yeah, they won Maidan and choose democracy. But unfortunately, it was a lot of corruption in our country after that too. So I'm just wondering why these people died.
So in a way, were the people in Ukraine sold a bullshit dream about something they were pretending to be democracy, but it wasn't really. It was just another version of the same thing with the same corruption.
Yeah, like we just won a part. We start to integrate more to West European values, and we, like, for example, got free visa to, if you have a biometrical passport, you can travel in Europe for 3 months without any visa. Yes, something was a bit integrants to West Europe. But in the same time, it was a lot of corruption in our country. Sometimes when somebody told me, oh, Ukraine will be soon in the part of European Union, I told before the war, are you sure that European Union would like to have a corruption country in their union? You know, it's a very big problem in Ukraine. It's corruption.
And as time went on, and I know there were different elections and everything else, and suddenly you had a new president, this actor who had been
Yes.
on TV, Zelensky. What did you think when you saw him first and you heard that he was going to become your president? Did you think it was a joke? Did you think this was a new beginning? What did you think?
I think that we have still a lot of corruption in Ukraine.
Yeah, okay. And
to be honest, I don't want too much to talk about what I think about. Like, he is a good guy, our president, and thank you so much for him that he protecting our country and do as much as he can. I'm proud of him, but it's not only president in our country make decisions. It's a lot of another people on another position roles who still make bullshit. Sorry for it.
okay.
Yeah, but I need to say the truth.
But maybe that's like politics everywhere, that there's always an amount of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, when we think about democracy, I think everybody immediately thinks about the United States of America.
Yeah, but Greg, you know what? When it's war and people died, and someone's son going to protect us and died, and in the same time, you know that someone steals something like volunteer helping or something like that, you will feel very angry.
Yeah.
You would like even to, I don't know, like kill this person. Like, what is that? Why one son going to protect us and died, and another son on his hand take something what Europe or even Ukrainians sent to our country to support refugees or stuff like that, or even soldiers. So it's make me irritate.
Very irritated.
Yeah, I think you feel it.
yeah. Can we use the word angry?
Yeah. It's like it's a big part of unfair. I know that life it's not fair, but when it's war, everything feeling more stronger. When it's war, every feels more stronger.
And if I'm living in Ukraine, you know, and I think you were 29 when you were there, that's your life. You've grown up there. it's all that you know in so many respects. Obviously, you're a young woman, you've got internet, you've got social media, you've other ways of learning about what's going on in the world. Did you think that this is just the way life is, or did you believe there must be a better way?
So 1 year before war broke out in my country, I told to everyone, you know what, I appreciate everything what universe sent to my life. Please, no war, please, no war, because I knew it's the most war things in life. After remark books, after even news, what you see, what happened, like in Syria, yeah, in Pakistan. It's always political games, but people are suffering because political games.
Yeah, we are the pawns, aren't we? In the middle of all of this. How did you feel about Russia before 2022, and how do you feel about Russia now?
So, Greg, I would like to tell that for me it's a very big pain. I have Russian blood. I have relatives in Russia, my grandmother and grandfather, and like how I feel brother kill brother. Even if people now say we are not brothers and we are not sisters. Yeah, I know. A few generation ago, Russia, how to say, took us, yes, and joined to them. But after that, women and men have had children. These children grow up, married with another woman and men and have children. So I'm generation for whom like we are a bit similar, yeah. And when you have your dad from Russia, yeah, he is living in Ukraine. But anyway, yeah, I feel like a big pain. If it's China start to us to attack or another country, it was easier. It's like I don't know how to explain. It's like husband start to beat wife. I don't know. I don't know. It's something like that. It's very very hard because I have a lot of good memories from Russia. I'm speaking Russian language, and I very like Ukrainian language, and I even think Ukrainian language sounds more nicer. But anyway, like I was a part of these things.
Yeah,
It's very hard to explain what I feel.
it feels like brother against sister nearly, does it?
Yeah, like brother and sisters. And I had a lot of friends and war. And one of my best friend, when rockets came near my father house and all windows broke out, and I put this on my Instagram stories, and she asked me, "Are you sure that is your dead house?" How he can even ask me it? Are you sure that is your children house, your child, your parents? Of course I'm sure. I'm going to my dad like every few months. Of course I know his house. How you can even ask me it? Or when it was second night in Kyiv or third night in Kyiv, and rockets came to house in Julian and destroyed a bit floors, she asked me, "Are you sure that it's in Kyiv?" Okay. How I can talk with these people after that?
Yeah. So are they being told this is rubbish? This is propaganda by the newspapers and the TV stations in Europe and in America. It's not true. We're here
Yeah.
to save Ukrainians from neo-Nazis and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very funny because until the war broke out, I was speaking in Kyiv Russian language, and nobody say me anything. Like nobody blame me. Now, yeah, some of people blame, and you need to speak Ukrainians. But of course, I can understand why it's happened. Yeah. Why people start to blame your speak Russians, because it's rockets under your head, someone lose their homes, children or stuff like that. But before you can speak free Russians, no problem at all. Just only one things in government buildings and all education must be in Ukrainian language. I don't see the problems. It's not neo-Nazism. Yeah, it's a normal way. So
Russia and Ukraine, you were like part of the same family, but different part of the family. And now after this war, can you ever see these wounds, this trouble between those two parts? Can you ever see that family going for dinner again? Ever?
No, maybe after 3-5 generation.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible what's happening.
Not in my life.
So February 2022, your whole life changes, and you were describing to me that you felt like you were frozen. What happened next? Can you tell me about from then till now?
So hopefully we escaped from the Bucha, but unfortunately didn't escape my dad, his another wife and child. I told to him, like, we need to escape. You have a car. Can you take your family and me and my mom? And he told me, my second daughter moms don't want to leave Bucha. She think everything will be fine. It's a normal, because like nobody expect it, and everyone have different emotional reaction. And so we with my mom escaped. We was in Kyiv for a while. We saved my cat, because my cat was in my apartment in Kyiv. So it was very, very dangerous to going. I mean to walk across different part of Kyiv, because it was on the street. Soldiers fighting. So you should to understand which way to use to come to your house and escape and stuff like that. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you made that decision to escape, and you went through the door of your apartment to try and decide, what am I going to put in a bag?
So cat, of course, cat. I even left laptop, cat. And to be honest, my mom left me in my grandmother house, and she told me I will go by my own to save your cat, take your passport, because we can't escape to Europe without passport. It would be harder and stuff like that. And she told me, I'm afraid about you. I will stay with you, and I see how you and so she saved my cat. Thank you to her so much. I would like to say, everyone think, oh, I don't have a nice car. Oh, I don't have a nice apartment. I would like to have this bag or stuff like that. But when war is happened, you will not think about this stuff. You will be thinking only how to save people who are special for you. Yeah, it could be your dog, cat, I don't know, mom, husband, child. It's only what you want to save, because another things you always can to buy. You always, if you're felt down, you always can stand and earn again money. But if you will lose someone who important for you, part of your family or important part of your life, it would be harder for you.
When you closed the door behind you, what did you think? Did you think, I'm never going to come back here again? Or did you think, I might be back in a month?
I didn't think anything. I'm just only thinking how to survive, to be honest.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, something like that. And, 2 days before war broke out, I was with my friend on the dinner. I told to him, if it's happened, we need to have a car to escape, and you and me don't have this car. What we will do? So it was like laughing, ha 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 ha. And after a few days, we wasn't laughing. He told me, anyway, I'm staying in Kyiv because I'm work in the government. And I told to him, it's very hard to find someone with a car. So we tried to escape by evacuation training, and it was a ridiculous part, because it was a lot of people, child, everyone crying, everyone pushing you. It's came train, you don't want what time the train will come. And you're standing on the platform, and you feel, or this mother with child will come into the train, or you need to push everyone and save your life. If you're a good person, it's hard to make this decision, my life or this mom and child life.
Okay. So what date was that when you got on the train?
It was my birthday.
Oh my goodness. What date?
4th of March.
4th of March.
4th March, yeah. So I remember it was 3 of March. I called to my friend from university. I know that someone from his family work on the train station. And I told to him, "Hi, how are you? Where are you?" He told me, "I'm on the west part of Ukraine, like more safer." I told to him, "Can your family help me to get the evacuation train? Maybe I can come to some another place to get it earlier, or maybe you will tell me what time and what platform, and I will know first, than others people." You see, you just looking a way to survive, to escape Kyiv. You don't know what to pretend. Like when I was escaping, Russian soldiers were already in Bucha, and my father and his second family can't leave, because if you're leaving, you can be killed by them. So I ask a God it on my Facebook pages. I type in like, tomorrow of my birthday, if somebody would like to send me some greetings or something like that, just please pray for two things: that my family in Bucha survive, and I will get tomorrow of evacuation train to west part of Ukraine. So before I was planning to go to Dubai or Cuba, but you know how to quickly change the wishes. You even like don't need anything.
Yeah. So how was it that you ended up in Ireland? Did you choose Ireland, or was that an option that the government
So
provided to
how
you?
it was, we escaped first to the Lviv, like everyone escaped mostly on the Lviv, mostly evacuation train to the Lviv. It was my birthday, and I told my mom, okay, I would like to rent a hotel, and that we can a normal sleeping and stuff like that. And when I open the booking or another website familiar with booking, no places, no. I'm like, what I should to do? I'm on the street. Like, what is that? So one volunteer told me that you need to go to the police station, and they have like options for refugees. So we get place on the floor in the school. In the school, on the floor. And you know what, I was happy that I have a place when I don't need to be so scary like in Kyiv, and I have a place to sleep. So my birthday was in the school and an evacuation train.
So you went back to school for your birthday.
Yeah. So next, like what I felt guilty that I'm escaped, and maybe I need to help like a volunteer. So I just tried to find a Lviv a place when I can help with my mom, and we found a cafe what preparing different dishes for refugees and for soldiers, and probably sent it to another city. So, and after a while, everyone started to call us, please leave Lviv too, because it's siren in Lviv and rockets can come to Lviv. You never know when it comes. And in the same time, you feel guilty, like you need to help, because like someone escaping and someone going to protect, yeah, and or to be like a volunteer. Or as you know, a few days ago in the news, a British volunteer died because he came to us and helped us, like, and you thinking how it's like that. But we escaped to the Poland I have in Warsaw. My friend, I told to her, can I? No, she first invited me when I was in Kyiv, like, please leave Kyiv, come to us to Warsaw. We will decide what to do the next. So I escaped with my mom from Lviv to Poland, Warsaw, to her apartment. She's living with a husband, child. And I think it was my first time I felt depression.
Okay.
So I didn't want to leave her room, what she gave for us, and I wanted to be only in the bed. I remember my best friend called me and he asked me, he's foreigner, and he asked me, how are you? I told to him, like, I don't want to live anymore in this world. It's like very, very unfair and everything what I saw. But I would like to say, my mom, thank you very much. She always pushed me. She told me, I don't care. You need to choose the country where we will live in. You understand? Like, we need to fix the problems. And she always, like, she is good, And she always, like, and I remember, like, when you need to make a decision, your head even can work. I can't even explain. It's like, it's very, very hard. You don't have any mentality power to make a decision or to do something. And my aunt is living in the same street with Irish woman who has in Ireland sister, and her sister called to her sister, a sister called to my aunt, that they would like to accept us if we need, they will give for us a place, like everything what happened very awful. And I told to my mom, look, I didn't know about social benefits because it was March, you didn't know what kind of country, what give to everyone or stuff like that. And I told to my mom, look, we have a people who can give to us a place to live, accommodation. It's one of the most important things. You are not on the street. And second, I told to her what kind of language I know. Like perfect, it's Russian and Ukrainian. Second one, what I know, it's English. So I told to her, like, my English enough at least to work like a super sales manager, something like that. So if I will find a job, I can cover some bills, like we can survive. We are not talking about how we lived before, just survive. So Ireland, a country where people speaking English. So I told to her, look, we have a place. I know English. It would be easier for me to sort all problems. And also I knew that my friend, one of my friends was living in Ireland for 9 months, 4 years ago. And he told me very generous, kind people. So you will not feel like you're a migrant and everyone like abuse you or you're like second sort of people. And also I knew about Ireland, that very peaceful country. And, in that time, I felt that I need really some peace. I need some place with a beautiful nature and peace. So my choice was right. Peaceful country, kind, generous people. It was plenty support in every stage. Lviv, Poland, Ireland. I can never believe myself. I can never believe that people can help so much. I was so surprised. In my previous life, I always tried to do everything by my own. Didn't ask for help. Like I can do myself. And now I understand that it's not a problem at all to ask for help. It's normal. A lot of people can ask for help, like felt something uncomfortable. So this war, I think, learned a lot of things about life.
On part 2 of this podcast, Daryna tells me about life in Ireland, the kindness of strangers, and how she came out of depression and started a new life and career here. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the When Happy podcast, which has been brought to you by Fusion Communications. If you'd like to get in touch, feel free to send me an email at greg@fusion.ie. So until next time, take it easy.